And welcome into the Friday edition. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning. We are presented by Green Ventures Landscaping for homes and businesses that want to stand out, not blend in. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Joe Rexrode, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm checking out the highlights behind you because for as great as that game was last night, I just couldn't do the OT, man. I couldn't do it. But it's one of those things where it's like you wake up on Christmas morning like, oh, I got the Atari. It was good to see that Carolina won.
I was out in the second intermission, man. It's been a long week. I was out in the second intermission, and I could not stay up. Could not do it.
Yeah, you've had a busy week here.
Yes, I have. A lot of stuff going on. Ian, how we doing? What's going on?
Good morning. Happy Friday. Just fine, thanks. I was dozing off during the second period on the chair watching, but pass out recovery, got back up, took a shower, did a little watch the third.
Yep.
And
nice.
that was that.
There you go. Everybody knows.
Great, man.
Everybody knows when you need a big goal in the Stanley Cup playoffs, there's one name that you turn to, and that name is Mark Jankowski, former Nashville Predator, who tied things up at 2 for the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday.
Massive. He's out there. Colton Sissons is out there.
Yeah. Cole Smith, Jeremy Lazan. There's just former Preds all over the place in this Cup final.
Yeah. Some guys who took a lot of crap from some Preds fans. A couple of those guys. There he is. There's the Mark Jankowski.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a rifle. Absolute rifle out there. Well, Carolina had the 3-2 lead. Mark Stone tied it up at 3-3 with 1 minute and 21 seconds left in regulation. And when that happens, I mean, everybody's thinking, oh, great. Vegas has just tied the game. It's going to overtime. Carolina has this dramatic comeback in the third period, and Vegas is going to go out there in overtime, win it, and they'll be back home up 2-0 in the series. Seth Jarvis, rifle of a one-timer on the power play, and Carolina evens up the series at 1 game apiece. So we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, Vegas had a 2-0 lead in that game, and Brett Howden, who in his career has been a highly average player, is apparently just going to go win the Conn Smythe now. So there's that. But I'm glad the series is evened up at 1. I'm very hopeful Carolina grabs 1 on the road here in Vegas, and this thing gets back to game 5 in Carolina, at least 2-2. But we'll see what happens on that front. Nice to see them grab the win last night.
And by the way, for the record, that was an own goal to tie it. That was, Stone was the closest guy, but Slavin popped it in. That was a tough one for him. No, it's, like, what are you going to do? If it's 2-0, I still wouldn't have buried the Canes. There is a different energy, I think, sometimes on the road in these playoffs, but big deal. And we might have ourselves a special one here.
I hope so.
That they came back because it was looking grim.
It was looking grim. I mean, when they scored that second goal last night, I was like, man, can I just get a good Cup final here? Like, can we just, even if Vegas ends up winning it at the end, like I'll manufacture myself into being happy for Colton Sissons and Cole Smith and those guys. But can we get a good Cup final here? And thank God Carolina won last night. I still don't know whether or not it's going to turn into a good Cup final, but we'll see. I mean, it's a heck of a third period last night. Carolina gets the win. Carolina, at this point, is undefeated on the road in the playoffs. So you have that going for you if you're headed to Vegas.
I like him in game 3.
Yeah,
I do. So apparently Torts had a tantrum last night too.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had a tantrum after
Tantrum-rella.
the first period, yelling at the refs coming off the ice.
Well, he was asked about the challenge. They
Yeah.
challenged.
Which set them up for a power play.
Yeah.
To go ahead. Of course, they ended up tying anyway. So
They lost the challenge. I guess they ruled goalie interference
Yeah.
on Vegas, so no goal. And on the ensuing power play, Carolina took the 3-2 lead.
yeah.
Well, they called a roughing penalty in the first period last night on Colton Sissons.
Yeah, they did.
That was it was a body check. And it's even Ray Ferraro on the broadcast was like, "Yeah, there's not a whole lot there." Torts was going nuts on the bench, and then he just yelled at the refs all the way off the ice in the second period because in Carolina you got to do some walking to get off the ice. That's why Ryan Johansson a couple times did the walk off in Carolina in the preseason. You just get right out. The visiting locker rooms across a little bit, but yeah, Torch was giving it to him last night at the officials.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm watching that at some point they show him on the bench when they're up 2-0, and he's kind of yucking it up over there. I'm like, this is truly amazing, man.
It really is.
This dude's about to just, okay, thank you. I'll take another cup.
Yep. After
but maybe not
2 years.
Yeah. Many jobs and many meltdowns in between. But
I've been present for a few of those in the media. It's been fun.
Yeah.
He had a couple when he was with Columbus that coincided when they came here, where it just did not go well for them. I think he had one press conference here after Columbus that lasted, I think, if memory serves me correctly, I looked at my phone, I was like, that was 11 seconds. All right, cool.
That's even less than like Lavi's presser when they lost at St. Louis in the playoffs, which was like,
oh, he like warns you
20.
Coming up. He's like walking down the hallway, and before he even gets to where the cameras are, he's like, hey, this ain't gonna take very long. Hold on. He just comes out with some statement. We sucked from head to toe, and he walks back. Like, all right, cool.
There you go. All right, thank you, appreciate it.
I really do, like, genuinely. I know there are wide range of opinions on John Tortorella. I love the guy. I think he's absolutely
he's hilarious. Yeah. He's hilarious. I mean, the worst thing that he's ever done to me is like this availability thing he did a couple weeks ago, which apparently there's a backstory to that and all that. But no, I mean, I'll take all that over, antiseptic, no personality, never say anything guy, which is most coaches.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
But I still don't want him to win the title.
Yeah, I don't either. Don't think they flashed a map up. Apparently this was like their game ops crew at Carolina, and it was like a map of the U.S. and it was like people rooting for Vegas, and it was just Nevada. That was it. And then like the rest of the country just in red out there, which is probably accurate.
Yeah, I would think so.
Probably accurate.
I mean, anybody, obviously like Preds fans, but there's a lot of fan bases that have to look at Vegas and be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A freaking decade.
Probably,
and this is what we have to endure. Really?
Somewhere close to universal support for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Game 2 tonight in the NBA Finals. The Knicks on the road take the 1-0 lead last time out, going for a 2-0 lead tonight on the road. We'll see if San Antonio responds. How are we feeling about Game 2 heading into this one?
Well, it is absolutely desperation time for San Antonio. So I expect them to win, but I mean, all the pressure's on them. The Knicks have gotten their game. They've stolen their game. It's going to be an amazing scene at the Garden. I'm pretty excited to see what that's going to be like. San Antonio has to win, and it's in terms of what they need to do. It's just like I said, I think Dylan Harper, for one thing, I think that was a coaching mistake in the fourth quarter the other night, having him sit during some key moments. I'd go with the rookie. I mean, he has demonstrated that he has guts and is not afraid of the moment. I'm still sitting there watching him the other night, and it's like, my gosh, that dude and Ace Bailey were on the same college team that did not make the NCAA tournament. That is truly amazing.
Tough one.
Yeah. Sorry, Rutgers. But no, it's a big one. And Wemby, I think Karl Anthony Towns, matches up pretty well. The physicality, does a pretty good job against him. But I just, I think with Wemby a lot, I just want to see him get closer to the basket more often. He settles, and sure, when he pulls up and hits a pretty 28-footer, you're like, my goodness. But I just would like to see him force the issue more, draw more fouls, and go at people and score inside a little bit more. So maybe he'll do that a little bit better tonight.
Ian Safar, as our resident Knicks fan, your confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 heading into Game 2 tonight.
I've been going back and forth on this one. I feel like the Knicks are going to play better, but I also think the Spurs are going to play better. So I'm not really sure how I'm feeling for this pick later on. I've been kind of going back and forth on it.
Do you subscribe to the, hey, they've done their job, they've grabbed the one on the road, feeling good about things, or are you going, cutthroat tonight? Like, it'd be disappointing if it's not 2-0.
Well, I'm not going to say I'd be disappointed, down if they're not up 2-0. I can't be disappointed to steal one in San Antonio. Would I love for them to take control of this series? Yeah, I would. I think they have a chance. I do think they have a chance to win. I'm not going to go ahead and just say, hey, Spurs are going to come out blazing and that's going to be that, because I think both teams are going to play better, because I don't think either team had their A game the other night. But Brunson still scored 30.
Yep.
Wemby's going to be better. I have pretty sure that will happen.
You would think.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit torn on this one. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not going to be mad if they lose to steal one in San Antonio, although 2 would be nice. But
Texter also saying, I watched the Women's Softball College World Series, was pleasantly entertained. Yeah, it's a good product. Congratulations to Texas. Texas Tech, man. They keep spending all the money, but they just keep not quite getting the reward for spending all the money.
Well, I mean, was Sark there? Was he watching?
I don't know.
So you responded yet to Texas Tech's challenge on the football front?
I haven't heard anything. Just ignoring it, which is pretty cowardly if you ask me. But
probably not.
Would have been, that's why it would have been nice to see Texas Tech win. So, they could talk a little trash about that.
I think Joe's becoming a Red Raider fan out there.
I think so.
I like the Red Raiders. And honestly, like, this legislation, which is just, I mean, it's already like totally doomed. You can see it. Like, people are screaming about it in every angle, and it will be the latest failure for Washington to get involved. But I mean, I got to say, Cody Campbell, I think some of the stuff he's trying to do makes more sense than what the Big Ten and SEC are trying to do.
Big Red Raider guy here on the program, Joe Rexrode.
Guns drawn. Guns blazing. Whatever.
I kind of like that one. I think that's what they should do. Yeah. Guns blazing. What is it actually? Guns up? I think it's what it is.
Guns up.
No,
guns up.
Guns come up with something better than that. Guns blazing is good. I like that.
Let's go with it.
615-737-1025, our phone number. A big deal in the NFL yesterday that is very controversial and has people talking. We will get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Turron Davenport will be with us later in the program at 8 o'clock for his weekly visit. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. We've got trade requests in the NHL. We got a lot of stuff going on the program here today, so we will get into all that throughout the show on the program today. We have Rexrode broadcasting the show in the background, which is good to see.
Yeah.
Rexrode's on the YouTube chat. Good to see.
Hey, everybody. Hi.
A controversial deal made yesterday in the National Football League. Christian Watson of my beloved Green Bay Packers has signed a 4-year, $110.5 million extension. There's a $31 million signing bonus in there. The average of the money breaks down to $27.6 million per year for Christian Watson. So for context, that is almost exactly the same as what George Pickens is going to be playing under the franchise tag. So just keep that in mind of the number that's there. Watson is 27 years old. When he's healthy, he's a very good player. He's not healthy all that much. I mean, he's had a torn ACL. He's had a lot of things that he's had to deal with in what has been a 4-year NFL career to this point. His best year, I mean, if you really want to just kind of extrapolate it, was this past year. He was coming off an ACL injury. He played 10 games, and he had 611 yards and 6 touchdowns in those 10 games. So if you stretch that out to 17 games, I mean, you're looking at over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns for Christian Watson. The problem with him has not really been the production when he's been on the field. It's been getting on the field. So clearly, from a Packers standpoint, they got a lot of belief and trust in him that when he's on the field, he can be one of those game-breaking receivers. But a lot of people got a problem with the money that he's making, given the fact that he hadn't been on the field all that much. Joe, what do you make of the Christian Watson deal that signed yesterday for $27.6 million per year at wide receiver?
Well, I'm more interested in what you make of it, but I will tell you that I like him. I think he's very good. I'm concerned about the health. This is real health concerns. Like, go back to A.J. Brown. You know, there's a little bit, but he'd mostly been able to play. I mean, his average, he averages a little more than 30 catches, 550 yards a season in 4 seasons. Again, missing a lot of time, so you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he's very good. It's a little bit of a gamble. The number seems big, but again, it's like that. Also, go back to A.J. Brown 4 years ago, and like that number now, it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, you know, look at what centers are getting paid, you know? So it's a gamble. I don't hate it. I mean, I think sometimes you have to, I mean, obviously you have to act on the information available. And this is certainly a belief that he's going to be healthy now. And I mean, everything we know would say, are you sure?
Right.
But if he is, I think that it has a good chance of paying off.
If he is, he can be a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. Like if he stays healthy, he can be a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. I don't necessarily have a problem with it because they don't really have a choice. I mean, you know, they let Romeo Doubs go this offseason. They've signed Jaden Reed to an extension that came in at a much smaller number. They've got very high hopes for Matthew Golden, but Matthew Golden didn't do a whole lot last year. They don't really have a choice. Like they need him to be their number 1 guy. I do understand around the league where you're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, the guy catches 30-something balls a year. The yards per reception is great. Like, I mean, a couple years ago, you averaged 21.4 a catch. Last year, he averaged 17.5 a catch. He's got an explosiveness to him that not a whole lot of guys in the league have. Like, he's got a gear that not a whole lot of guys in the league have. I don't know that I've seen a situation exactly like this, Joe, where a guy that you can see it, you see the ability, but he's just got such a limited production sample here over a 4-year period because of the injuries. I don't know that I've ever seen somebody land a deal quite like this because with those set of circumstances around it. It's very odd from that standpoint. I don't have a problem with it because as a Packers fan, I recognize they don't really have a choice, but I've never seen a deal quite like this based on that combination of circumstances.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, they've lost some depth, so it comes down to, and it could be really good if he's on the field.
If he's on the field, it'll work out great. Yeah,
Jaden Reed's back healthy. Obviously, you need Matthew Golden but I think he's good too. I mean, I think those 3 guys that's a pretty strong trio as long as you have them on the field all year. So if you, as a partial owner of the Packers, had to check yes or no on this, what would you do? What would you have
I'd go
done?
yes, but it does make me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the yards per reception thing, it brings up an interesting case study. Like, how do you determine who's worth it or not? Like, it's such, I think it's case by case so much. Like, you got to feel good about the work the person puts in. You got to feel good about the work habits and the dedication and all those things.
A lot of information.
There's a lot of information that we don't have that is kind of an individual case by case basis. But there's a big debate yesterday that I saw of, like, is this guy really worth the money that you're paying him here? Like, and that's the thing about the NFL is, we brought this up earlier this week. Like, it's laughable to go back and think about basically what the Titans and A.J. Brown were bickering over when it comes down to it. Like, they're going to pay a wide receiver $20-something million per year. And it's like, yeah, that probably would end up being smart. I mean, Christian Watson is not A.J. Brown. So let's keep that in mind. But the money's just going up. It's going up every year in the National Football League. So, if he ends up staying healthy and is on the field, you're going to look at $27.6 million. And if he's as productive as they think he can be, you're going to say, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's fine. That's a fine number for Christian Watson.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I would rather err on the side of, okay, we can't lose someone. And again, they are kind of in a spot here, right? In terms of their depth and everything. Like, it's gotta work out. It's gotta work out with him in this short term, in this, because obviously they are one of the teams that's going for it.
Well, I mean, there's another deal in the NFL that I think raised some eyebrows too, that happened over the last couple of days. And it's Darnell Washington. Like, Darnell Washington in Pittsburgh at tight end, who had his best year this past year, which was 31 catches for 364 yards and 1 touchdown. That was his best year. And he signed a 4-year, $42 million deal with Pittsburgh. Like, that just kind of shows you. I mean, if you watch Darnell Washington play, I mean, he's a freak. He's 6'7". He's the
biggest
tight end I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. I don't have a problem with him signing it. I'm just, from going back to the discussion, if you would have had this discussion 5 years ago and you said, yeah, a tight end who is coming off a 31 catch, 364 yard, 1 touchdown season is signing a $42 million contract, people would say you're crazy, but that's where the money's going in the NFL.
Yeah, and also he's one of the best blockers in the league. So that is part of the job. Like, there are tight ends who that's a huge part of their job.
And to that point,
for him.
I mean, by the metrics and by, if you believe what comes out of Matt LaFleur's mouth, which is a dangerous game, Christian Watson is like maybe the best blocking wide receiver in the league. Like, he's very good.
Nah.
So there's that. It pays to block out there, boys.
Hey, I love it, man.
You want to make some money in the NFL as a pass catcher, you better learn how to block too.
Who did we used to talk about here? Was it NWI?
NWI could block.
Oh, Randy Moss. He was here. He was a great blocker while he was here.
Randy Moss was.
Oh yeah, that was like his number one role.
He blocked the Gatorade from the sideline over there from getting anybody else. He just stayed there and took it. He did get out there a couple times and block.
Nice, good for him.
Fisher wouldn't throw him the ball.
I just Googled like NFL contracts of players that didn't necessarily deserve it, or production didn't. Like, one thing that came up was Kenny Galladay. I do remember he had like 1 good year, and then he got the big 4. Now, back then it was 4 years, $72 million in 2021. Woo! But there's an example. Javon Walker. We're going back a bit, but my goodness, did he fade from the face of the earth? Actually, Hainsworth is another one, but Hainsworth was dominant here, and then he signed the monster deal with Washington. But Hainsworth had been dominant. So,
well, I remember
then he was not
when Christian Kirk signed his deal with Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I mean, we were on the show. And we're like, what the heck are they? I think was it 4 years, $72 million?
It was in that range.
I think that was I think that's where it was with Christian Kirk. And I remember thinking, okay, like, Christian Kirk is fine, but 4 years, $72 million. He had been with Arizona before that, and he had in 2021 77 catches for 982 yards. Which, by the way, I mean, those numbers are better than anything I just threw out there with Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Right? And, next year in Jacksonville, he catches 84 balls for 1,100 yards for 8 touchdowns. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure.
Once again, got to tip the cap to Duval. They know what they're doing down there. Sometimes.
That was even pre Gladstone down there.
Oh, yeah. That was
Your boy.
Funderburk from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
615
I messed up the name.
737-1025. Our phone number 615
Funkhauser.
737.
Funkhauser, thank you. My God. Funderburk. I went to Lawrence Funderburk over here. Sorry.
Do we feel like with Chris McFarland in place and Mike Borgonzi, based on what he's done to this point, do the Titans and the Predators have legitimately good front offices now? We will get into that discussion coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game, taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. The Nashville Sounds taking on the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp today. See if James Gladstone's down there. First pitch at 6:05. Catch all the action on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks, Family Leisure, and Social Cantina. Do we think James Gladstone has thrown out the first pitch yet at a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game?
That's a good question. I don't know. Or maybe he's, moonlighting. Get your peanuts here.
Anytime I can get you to do the James Gladstone voice, it's a win in my book.
Is there a name of that character on The Simpsons? It's just like,
I'm sure
there's
there
like
is.
any
I don't know
teenager, basically, right? Any teenager has the going through puberty. Hey, everybody. Voice.
And we want him to be nothing more than him.
That man's record as GM right now is pretty good.
What if he ends up being like a genius? Like this draft looks terrible. Everybody thinks it's terrible.
Yeah.
But what if he actually is smarter than
He tried to be
else?
smarter with everybody with Travis Hunter. We'll see what that looks like.
At least, well, I was going to say at least they're they figured it out. It's like, yes, he should be a corner. He's going to be a great corner. But then, I don't know, apparently that there's dispute about that too. Who knows?
It could be. I mean, they're going to trot him out there on offense first play of the year.
Travis, I swear, we'll throw you the ball every once in a while. Okay, buddy.
I was really hoping that combo would suck. The fact that they won the division the first year really upsets me. But that from Cohen stepping in there and going Duval to Gladstone, I was like, man, these guys are absolute morons. Like, this could set the bar so low even for Jacksonville, and then they go out there and win the division.
I think Cohen's pretty good. I do.
Unfortunately, I do too.
I think Cohen's pretty good.
He may be scared to death now with Salah in the same division. He's going to get squashed. Yeah. But
that's the thing. If he continues to demonstrate intelligence and competence as a coach, then I mean, Robert Saleh may need to just beat him up. Sometimes you just got to go. You just got to go with whatever you got.
Yeah, I need. There's not enough coaching beefs in the NFL anymore. When was the last time we had a nice coaching beef in the NFL? Vrabel and Harbaugh at midfield when they almost fought each other?
Yeah, that was whatever. I mean, it used to be amazing, like with the whole Buddy Ryan stuff. I mean, and Rex was a ruffled feathers too, but Buddy Ryan and like putting bounties on. I mean, like that guy.
I don't know if we're ever getting back to that, but
no, we probably will not. But yeah, you're right. We too much. These guys are all like, hey, let's go hang out at the pool with what's his name,
Jay Glazer.
Yeah. Hey, where's Vrabel and Rossini?
Don't see them here. Where do they go?
Having their own party.
Yeah. By the way, Vin on the YouTube chat says Squeaky Voice Teen is the name. There you go.
Oh, really? It's
our
just
Simpsons expert.
Yeah. Thanks, Bart, dude.
Yeah.
I like Otto the bus driver too. I'm not nearly as good at that voice, though.
Yeah, I need we went through this before in the offseason, but it's been Jacksonville typically doesn't have 2 good years in a row. Like, it doesn't happen very often throughout the history of their franchise.
Right.
I need them to totally collapse this year. I need them to just be awful. Which, I mean, history would say is on the table.
Yeah, you would think. But they have a pretty good quarterback.
They do.
They do. They're interesting.
They're very interesting. We'll see what happens on that front. Speaking of interesting, we've gone through the hiring of Chris McFarland this week by the Nashville Predators. There is a demonstrated history there of him being a competent executive. Now, it is different. He's stepping into a role that he has not been in before in terms of, I mean, the whole show is his now, right? I mean, he's the president of hockey ops. He's the GM. And ultimately, over the next few years here, the way that this roster goes and ultimately whether or not they're any good and they get back to being a cup contender is going to fall at his feet. So that is a responsibility that he has not had to this point. I mean, it's been Joe Sakic's show and he has been there and been part of it in Colorado, but now it's his here in Nashville. So we understand that there's an unknown there that we just don't really have any way of answering yet. But I would say, I mean, you tell me, Joe, have I seen any negative reaction? Has there been any negative reaction to Chris McFarland being hired by the Predators, like from a Predators fan? I haven't seen any. So, I mean, I would say if there is, it's very limited at this point. Mike Borgonzi. I mean, Mike Borgonzi, if you go by record, he's 3-14 as a general manager right now. But I would say by taking the temperature of Titans fans that we hear from, that interact with this show, that I see on social media, I don't know what the percentage is, but I would be willing to say most Titans fans feel good about what they've seen Mike Borgonzi demonstrate to this point with some of the moves that he's made. Now, so much of that is going to come down to Cam Ward and Carnell Tate. I mean, really, those two guys. It's going to come down to them a lot with those two guys. My question is this. Do we feel like the Titans and the Predators both are being run competently? Do we feel like there's legitimately good decision-making, decision-makers, front office structure that is in place with both the Tennessee Titans and the Nashville Predators? And by the way, not knowing if the Predators front office structure as a whole, there could be some changes coming to that over the next few weeks here as well.
Yeah, I think people obviously want to feel that way. People want to be optimistic. I will go back to when Barry Trotz got the GM job, and I want to know how many Preds fans at that point had an issue with it. I don't remember anyone. I'm not saying there was no one, but there were very few. I want to go back to early in the Rand Carthon tenure and how much excitement was there about him. This guy, San Fran, look at the late draft. He was in charge of that. Look at all the guys they got with the Niners. He was with the Rams. A lot of excitement about Ram, you know? So I do think that these are different situations, obviously, in terms of Borgonzi has demonstrated some competence, right? And he's done some good things. I think sometimes people exaggerate a little bit.
I would agree.
It's very much still, like, we're waiting to see. I mean, Cam it's all about Cam, man. You're right. Tate right after that and some of these other moves, Ladezio's important too, but Cam. So we'll see. But he seems to have he comes off well, and he seems to he has done some good things. I think one thing that you also separate these teams, we'll see with Chris McFarland. It's a promising career to date, which suggests that you got a chance to have success. But I do think ownership-wise, Preds fans should be feeling good. They are and should be.
I agree.
Feeling good. Whereas, I mean, like Titans fan, like you just have to throw up your hands and, again, remind yourself that in the NFL, there are owners who have been worse than Amy Adams Strunk, frankly, just worse, who have still been able to, they've hired, you can hire good people. There's a small pool of people you're going to choose from in anything. And if you hit on those and you let them do their jobs for a minute, you still might win as an owner in this league. So,
yeah.
Very different feel from the top, because now there's actually a voice and a face with Haslam and the Preds. And now if you're a Preds and Vols fan who's like, seriously, $130 million, I know it's his brother, but like $130 million and none of that goes to football. Now that's a different topic.
It bothers me.
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
It very much bothers me.
Hey, man, biz school is going to be humming.
We ain't worried about the schooling, okay? We ain't worried about it. I need you to win football games.
I ain't come here to play business school, man.
I didn't come here. It's not happening, man. I need you to get out there and win some football games. That's what I'm worried about. Look, there's no way to know on either one of these guys yet, right? I mean, Chris McFarland's never done this job before. And again, if you want to just go by what ultimately matters, Mike Borgonzi's 3-14 as a general manager to this point. So I recognize all those things. I think if you add a little nuance to the discussion, there's a lot with the Titans that Mike Borgonzi has had to and is still going to have to fix, right? I mean, we all know that it's a multi-year project that this is going to be with the Titans here. Now, the biggest accelerator to that should be the quarterback that you've taken. And we're going to find out whether or not he's made the right decision there. And ultimately, to your point, I mean, that's what's really going to matter. Like, if it's not the right decision that he's made at quarterback, well, that's going to be a very big obstacle for him to overcome, I think, right?
Now he can look to his buddy Chris Ballard a few hours north and say, hey, man, I should be fine for another decade. I don't care.
Unlimited options at quarterback. But, I mean, so I fully recognize that in this discussion, there's no way to know yet when it comes to either Borgonzi or McFarland. I do feel like with both, there's a history attached to them that you can look back to if you're a Titans fan or a Preds fan and you feel good about it, right? Like the history for Borgonzi and Kansas City. And you just laid it out with Carthon. It doesn't mean anything. When it comes down to it, it doesn't guarantee success. But I think there's a lot to like about Borgonzi's history in Kansas City. I like some of the things he's done so far in Tennessee. I like McFarland. I mean, the more I talk to people in Colorado, yes, it's Joe Sakic's show, but clearly, like, this is a this is a loss that Colorado is going to feel like they wanted to keep him. And if they were that indifferent about it and the job that he's done, I don't think they would have fought so hard to keep him. So there is
it's a good sign
that you factor into it as well. I think the pulse that I get from both of these fan bases right now is maybe for the first time in a while, at the same time, you're feeling good about the way things are going with your decision makers when it comes to your roster. And again, it's easy to feel good right now in the aftermath of just hiring somebody new. If you're a Predators fan, I get that. But I do. I think it's been a long time since at the same time, if you're a Titans and Preds fans, you felt good about the people in charge of your roster with these teams.
Yeah. And another thing about the Titans is just the Brinker moving on removes that weird, whatever the heck was going on, just because of all the movement and everything. It got confusing, and the pressers were, kind of strange.
Mike, you got anything to add? Any thoughts?
Go ahead. You answer this one. I don't know why I just did give that voice for Brinker. That wasn't Brinker's voice at all, but I've already forgotten how Chad Brinker sounded. So that right there is a Titan. Oh my God. How did you pull that out right now? That's amazing.
I had it ready.
Ready to go.
Bro, we need real Titans around here, okay? Yeah.
We gotta re-angle the security cameras.
No, that is a sprinkler.
There's a glare coming in off the sunset over there. I can't see it.
I kind of picture Wasserman to talk like that too. It might be a good combo.
Hit me across the middle, bro.
I got good hands, okay?
Will Spicoli.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, he's kind of
Some
creeping
taste
into
the waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
I mean, you're kind of creeping into Jeff Fisher territory a little bit there.
Yeah,
too,
there is.
There's
right.
a little bit.
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you go, so this question, when you really had it going, probably the last time that you really felt like you had it going was early J-Rob / Poyle, in the middle of the go for it window, right?
That's the last time you felt good about both. Because
now
even when
you
Trotz
shouldn't feel this good as that now.
No.
But there's some hope.
But even when Trotz came in, and I think Predators fans were excited, you were looking at the Titans, you're like, oh, so they've traded AJ Brown, and now they fired J-Rob, and Rand's going, okay, cool, whatever.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
615-737-1025. Our phone number, 615-737-1025. Do we feel like the Titans and the Predators have legitimately good people running their teams now? We'll take your thoughts on that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Our football offseason coverage brought to you by Tennessee Brew Works, the official craft beer of offseason coverage here on 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Throwing the question out there, do we feel like the Titans and the Predators have legitimately good people running their teams? 615-737-1025. Nate says, it depends on if Amy allows Borgonzi to do the job with little meddling. We'll see how long it takes her to fire the next one. Haslam seems to want to actually do what it takes to be a champion. So until tough decisions arise and Haslam doesn't do anything, I have to believe him and the organization want to actually do what it takes to win it all. I mean, it's clear in the latest edition, Joe, of who's got Amy Adams Strunk's favor in the organization, that now falls with Mike Borgonzi. So how long does that last? I mean, that seems to be the popular question around here over the last 4 or 5 years is whoever she likes right now, how long does that happen before she fires him?
And I'll go right back to Cam Ward. You know, Marcus, who was pretty good here, is a great example of you just can't. Year 2 is not the end-all, be-all, but I think this year is going to be a very, very revealing and critical and crucial year when it comes to, okay, is this the guy you're going to be building around? Like, you got something here? And if you feel that way, and again, obviously you still have to win enough games. You have to start winning football games pretty soon here. But just if that looks good by the end of the year, then I would think that he's got some runway.
I would think so.
If it doesn't, if it looks like last year, and again, then we can get into all the different things. Did they screw up the offense? And if that's the case, that's also on him, by the way. Because if you're not allowing the kid to grow because you miscalculated and blew it with the interior of the offensive line, that's on you. But it's still a little different than Cam's just bad.
Oh, and I come back to in these discussions about the quarterback. It would take a pretty special set of horrific circumstances for him to be making progress that you want to see him make, and that not pay off with at least some winning. Like it's so important. That position in the NFL, like it's not impossible for him to be making progress, and then the rest of the team is just crumbling around him. I mean, we've seen that happen before, but not likely. Like the likelihood is, if he's making the progress you want to see him make, it's gonna result in at least doubling your win total this year. I mean, good grief, get to 6. Is that hard?
Yeah, well, right. And if somehow you do have that combination of factors, then you can also pretty quickly look at, okay, let's remember the excitement about Brian Callahan and his pedigree and everything. And so now you bring in a guy who actually has a really bad record as a coach, and that's not looking good right away. You have that part of it too. That's another big thing that, of course, Mike Borgonzi is going to be judged on.
Well,
this coach decision.
Well, the difference is, like, and it's completely different sports, obviously, but I think it's just completely different in the way you try to build teams too. I mean, the Titans, if things go well, they've already got their foundational players that are going to be responsible for that, right? I mean, it's going to be like Cam Ward's on the team, Carnell Tate's on the team, and those guys are going to either make it or break it here with the Titans. And, there's a couple other guys you can throw in the mix there too, but those two are the ones that I think most Titans fans are looking at like that's the future. Okay. Well, I mean, from the Preds standpoint, you're hoping Brady Martin is that. I mean, you're hoping a couple other guys are that. But now you've got a new general manager in here too that's responding. It's just different. I mean, a lot of these guys are 18, 19, 20 years old and are not on the team yet. So, like, it's completely different in the way I think you kind of build out the future, right? Like, if Brady Martin isn't a superstar player within the next calendar year, I don't think anybody's going to freak out about that, right?
Yeah.
If Cam Ward's not, I think there are going to be some Titans fans looking around and saying, oh, good grief. Like, what's going on? He's the number 1 pick in the draft. Let's go.
Yeah, very different. Yeah, in some ways it's hard to compare the sports. No question about that. And I will say, I guess with Brady, it's like you want to see something. You hope you hope he's good enough to make the team.
You hope he's good enough to make the team, or if not, at least get on the team at some point this year and make an impact.
Yeah, and be really good, in the AHL and then but there's certainly different timelines for that. And McFarland has the benefit of. Well, he has the difficulty. It's a harder job for him, frankly, to me, to like figure it out.
I agree.
It's harder.
It's going to take
it's
longer.
harder in that
Yeah.
league to figure it out. He also has. I mean, he's certainly going to get way more. To me, like he's going to get time.
Yes.
Whereas, as we know, in the NFL, but especially in this NFL franchise, that's not necessarily a benefit that you're going to get. So show something quickly, please. Also, because everybody, and again, it's not on. That's the problem too. When you do all these switches and all these firings and hirings and everything, some of this is just not even on the people who are here right now, but the fan base has been subjected to this terrible football for so long. Like, and Amy has been too.
Well, she doesn't fire people anymore.
That's true.
They just voluntarily
go
walk away.
Yeah, they sort of fade out. Yeah. That'd be hard for
it's an organizational shift.
That'd be hard for Borgonzi to do.
I'm not making any more decisions.
No more players for me. You pick your own players.
We have 18,000 assistant general managers. They can pick the players.
I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet.
615-737-1025.
By the way, Jason Goodlettsville is like, he's like, can we please get Kevin Ingram on this show ASAP for some decent impersonations? Yes, I know. Ingram, man.
Look, we try our best.
Christian, pass the ball to Bobby. Yeah, he had a great Coach K, which I obviously don't.
The Kevin Ingram Coach K is great. The Kevin Ingram George Plaster is great. There's a lot of really good impressions.
You've got a pretty good George Plaster. Why don't you bust that out?
Now, hold on a minute.
There you go.
You stop over there.
Nice.
615-737-1025, our phone number. A trade request in the NHL with a big name. I mean, should the Predators kick the tires on it? But what does it also tell us about what this offseason could look like when it comes to trade movement in the NHL? We'll get into all that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Friday morning, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping, outdoor patios, landscaping design, lawn maintenance, and more. Check them out at greenventureslandscaping.com. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Turron Davenport with us at 8 o'clock. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. Taking your thoughts in the meantime, 615-737-1025. We have a trade request in the National Hockey League, Joe. Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings and also of the gold medal winning Team USA. Apparently wants out of Detroit. Elliot Friedman put this out yesterday. And as it's pretty interesting when you read this. So Larkin's not talking about any of this. Yzerman is not talking about any of this. His agent's not talking about any of this. There's a lot that's like not being talked about here when it comes to that. But Friedman's gotten to the bottom of it, and apparently recently Larkin has requested a trade. I mean, when you look at it, it's not that surprising. Larkin has been in Detroit since 2015-16, which coincidentally is the last time they made the playoffs. So you're talking about he was 19 years old at that point. He's now 29. They have not made the playoffs since then, and he has been a very good player. I mean, he's the number one center from the standpoint of, like, he's not McDavid and he's not Crosby, but he's good. He's a really good player. He just scored 34 goals, 67 points in 74 games, but apparently he wants out in Detroit.
The people are free. I mean, I got a text 5:45 a.m. from my brother freaking out about this, and of course he's like blaming Yzerman. I will say that a lot of Red Wings fans are really upset at Dylan Larkin. I mean, you're right. It makes sense, other than he grew up there, downriver, by the way.
South Detroit.
It's Waterford, but I mean, he was like 12 years old when they won the cup. It's his whole dream is to play for the Red Wings. He's the hometown here. He played at Michigan for a year, and I mean, they gave him the deal. He's got like 5 years left at 8.7, I think, AAV. I think that's right. He's been basically a point a game player for the last 5 years. I mean, it's a little bit shocking. Like, you're like, this is the guy who, this is the captain who needs to get us out of this mess. And of course, I get his frustration with the inability of the organization to build a good enough team, but it's still like people feel betrayed.
Yeah.
To me, I look at it more like it's not a good comment on Steve Yzerman and or Chris Ilitch. And, I might lean a little bit more toward the latter. Not that Yzerman, I mean, at some point Yzerman's going to be fired. I'm sorry. It sucks, but I love Isaiah Thomas too, as a childhood hero of mine. I don't want him running my team. And I understand what happened with Yzerman, and I think Yzerman, maybe he's a good example of sometimes, you get a couple key pieces and maybe a little bit of luck, and you can look like a genius. And he's been trying for a long time to figure this out and can't do it. But so that it's I certainly would not have guessed this, and now it's going to be interesting. I mean, they already did the Athletic emergency. Okay, what about every team? Does it make sense to try to trade for Dylan Larkin? I say, why not?
Well, he's 29. He's been a very productive player, as you mentioned. So the other part of this is he's got control. So I think he's got a full no trade this year and next year.
And then it's like a 10-team list after that.
So he's got, at the moment, which is probably also part of why he's doing this now, is because he knows that he's got 2 years left basically of control, he's got all the control in this. So you got to factor that into it as well. If you're the Predators, do you have any interest in Dylan Larkin at age 29? Locked in through, I believe, the 2031 season. So 2030, 2031, he'll be locked in at an $8.7 million cap hit, which, with the way the cap's going and the way that he plays, is fine. I think that's a good number for Dylan Larkin. So, Joe, I ask you, should the Predators have interest in kicking tires on Dylan Larkin, who would solve a number one center problem?
Yeah, and then the next question is, okay, so what are you parting with? You're not parting with Brady Martin, I don't believe.
No.
I mean, again, Yeah, you still have to think about windows. Okay, so I mean, I think he's turning 30 in July. So, what's he going to be by the time you're competitive? Or some teams that plan to be competitive here, and then it's way past that when they actually are. But if you can get there, I think you could have some really good years with him still as a competitive team. What would it take? I mean, I guess to me, it's like, would the Red Wings have interest in Ryan O'Reilly? I mean, he had a great year. If you want to talk about culture being an issue there, well, you can't get much better than this guy.
It's true.
Right? Again, the production was really good this year. You would have to, I think you'd have to give them Ryan O'Reilly and probably at least a high pick, maybe one of the prospects not named Brady Martin.
Yeah. I mean,
is that worth it?
It would take a lot. I mean, a couple things on this. From my perspective, I would not entertain this if I'm the Predators. I just don't think I don't think the two timelines match up. Like, I think he is a really good player. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a really good player.
It's fair.
And I think at age 30, I don't know that he's enough of a needle mover where it's like, yeah, you got to do this, right? Like, I mean, we all understand this. I don't need to couch this every time. He's not McDavid. Everybody understands that. There's nobody that's a McDavid. But
there's another tier.
There's another tier.
Than
him.
Him.
I don't know that he's enough of a needle mover to change the picture that dramatically. Would they be a playoff team with him if they kept like the most of their roster together with him? Probably. Like, is Dylan Larkin coming in and they're a Stanley Cup contender? No. So I don't know that I would have a ton of interest. And here's the other part of this with full control that he's got. I would almost guarantee you he's got no interest in coming to the Predators right now based on where they are as a team.
Yeah, because his timeline, he sees the clock ticking. And I talk about this a lot. And look, some guys are just ageless, but especially when you've been in this league since you were that young. Like, we look at 29, but okay, a decade of this league. Now granted, he hasn't had all the extra playoff games, so there's that. Yeah,
well, and the thing, I think if you feel, not to interrupt you, sorry about that. Like if you feel, if you're a GM out there looking for him, I mean, I think in a typical scenario, you would be worried about, okay, we just haven't seen him play in the playoffs all that much. What's that going to look like when he gets there? The one thing I would say about him is both in the Four Nations and in the Olympics for Team USA, he was really good. Like, he was really good. And I think that makes you feel better. I think a couple things. Number one, and Elliot Friedman talked about this with DVD yesterday, I think that experience is probably playing into some of this too, as he's got a taste of winning and he wants to go win somewhere else. And number two, if you're a team that may be worried about all that playoff stuff, well, you've seen him in some pretty high stakes environments come up with some huge games. So I can feel good about that.
Yeah, no, that's not nothing for sure. A lot of YouTube chat talk about the Wild possibly being one of the top suitors.
That would be, I mean, they need a center. There's no doubt about that. Now, then you start to get into when you're paying Kaprizov, freaking $17 million. They're going to try to keep Quinn Hughes, I would assume. Are you going to toss another $8.7 million contract on top of all that? I mean, at some point, you're going to run out of money when it comes to all the people you're trying to keep here. So I don't know. Like, I think I would be looking at it if I'm Minnesota, because that's the kind of team that I think needs him and the type of team that I think he would be willing to go to based on where they're at kind of in their timeline.
And then, I don't know, but obviously to me, that's going to have to be probably prospect heavy return, right?
Yes.
Prospect pick.
Dustin says, cool. So Vegas is going to get him. They'll trade their firstborns, pick him up, win another cup. Be nice.
Yeah, there you go.
One texter says, I like Larkin, but there's no way here with this timeline. I'd be working to get Jason Robertson from the Stars somehow if I'm big game hunting. We'll see. I mean, the Jason Robertson stuff, I like it in theory. If you're talking offer sheet there, I mean, you're gonna attach 4 first-round picks with that, and I don't think that's gonna happen. It's not that it can't happen, and it's a new GM coming in. Maybe Chris McFarland is like, yep, we'll make a huge splash. My guess is going to be that that they're not going to touch an offer sheet here.
Yeah, I mean, I look, I hear everybody on it's the Larkin thing is like, okay, let's go to the part of the franchise that's like please, can we try to win? You
Right.
know, the Stamkos, Forsberg, you know, like if you're those guys, you're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
But-
to me, it would be different if he's 25, if he's 26.
Yeah.
and
Sure,
not
sure.
that he's old. Like I think with the way he skates, he's going to be good for a while. But I just don't know that he's enough of a needle mover to really change the equation that much, right? Like he's a good player. Frankly, if he was that much of a needle mover, they'd have probably made the freaking playoffs in Detroit by now, right?
Yeah.
So I think you got to pay attention to that a little bit.
They've got other good guys, you know. Lucas Raymond's pretty good, and and yet somehow, and you know, Larkin, by the way, and understandably so. Basically, like openly voiced frustration when Yzerman did nothing at the trading deadline last year. Which is part of this too, I'm sure.
But the thing is, like, and I've seen people in Detroit talk about this now. Like Yzerman did stuff this year, and then they totally fell apart. Like they just collapsed down the stretch of the regular season here. So it's a very interesting situation. Friedman talked about this yesterday too with DVD, and I think it's a great point. The league is changing a little bit here. I mean, it was, and I think there's one move that I go back to that really kind of started a lot of this, and that is Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk looked at Calgary and he said, guys, I'm not re-signing here. So you might as well just go ahead and get what you can get because I'm not coming back. And he got traded to Florida. He basically dictated where he was going to go.
Yeah.
And then Quinn Hughes did the same thing in Vancouver. He's like, I'm not re-signing here. I think in a perfect world, he would have probably liked to have ended up in New Jersey with his brothers, and New Jersey wasn't able to swing it, and he ends up with Minnesota, and they're really good. So, like, we're seeing, you know, the player empowerment stuff in the NBA has been a thing for a long time.
Yep.
Like that basically started with, you know, LeBron and Wade and all those guys in the summer of 2010. I think you're seeing a little bit more of it now in the NHL.
Yeah. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't either.
If you're incompetent, then you pay for it.
Exactly. 615-737-1025. Our phone number. Dylan Larkin out there and available. Should the Preds kick the tires? And how active do we expect this summer to be on the trade front in the National Hockey League? We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. You could join our award-winning in our minds YouTube chat as well, which is flowing right now. Jacob on the YouTube chat says, I like Dylan Larkin, but he's still solidly behind Barry in my personal Larkin rankings.
Nice.
Couple options there.
They both went to Michigan. So there you go.
There you go. A long lineage of Larkins.
Barry Larkin and Chris Sabo.
Yeah, there you go.
Those Reds legends.
Yeah.
Any other Larkins? Do you know any other Larkins?
I don't think so.
I don't think I do. That's
I'm
still pretty
Googling.
good, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any other Larkins. I think that's it. Apparently, there's a Philip Larkin who's a poetry writer. So
Okay. Phil
Larkin.
Phil the poet. Phil Larkin, poet.
It's good. Good to know.
Yeah.
So Larkin requesting a trade in Detroit. Beyond like the Predators' interest level in him, which I don't know that I see that. We'll see if Chris McFarland decides to kick the tires on that. It does make me wonder, what's this offseason going to look like in terms of trades in the NHL? Because you got a combination of things that I think could make that pretty interesting. Number one, the cap's going way up. So you got salary cap explosion that I just think is going to create more flexibility with teams. And when you've got more flexibility, you've got more of a flexibility to pull off bigger trades. So maybe a more active offseason than we've seen the last couple of years in the NHL. And then you combine that with the free agency class just isn't really all that good. So if you're looking to dramatically change your team, if you're a general manager out there, I mean, the free agent route's probably not the route to do that this year. So if you want to do it, it's probably going to have to happen via trade. So it does make me wonder, like, how busy of an offseason are we going to see? And also what we just talked about, like Larkin wants out. And we're seeing that happen, I think, more and more in the NHL with players that look at their situation. They say, yeah, I've got a little bit more power here than maybe I think. Let's force my way out of here. Does that happen with somebody else this offseason? Like, are there more players that are in a spot right now where either they're not getting the playing time they want to get, or they're not in the situation they want to be in, or they're tired of losing, or they look at it and they say, all right, let's force my hand here. We've seen other guys start to do this a little bit more, and it's worked out pretty well for them. Let's try it. So, I mean, all those things, Joe, I think make this offseason really interesting. And when you have both from an asset standpoint and a financial flexibility standpoint, the amount of room that the Predators have in that, it does make you wonder a little bit of, okay, what could that look like? I mean, a perfect example is, a guy we've talked a lot about, Brady Tkachuk has said a lot of the right things when it comes to Ottawa, but at some point this offseason, does he look around and say, all right, yeah, it's just time to move on? Could that be something? And again, like Brady Tkachuk's 26. He's not 29. He's not 30. Like, he's 26. So like to me, there's a difference there. So all those things I think could make this offseason very interesting in the NHL.
Yeah, and that's good for the game to me to have. I mean, this Dylan Larkin thing, Red Wings fans are upset about it, but now we know now, like there's one for sure. And like you said, there probably will be more. Are we right around the exact 10-year anniversary of Shea Weber for PK Subban?
Yeah. Like almost
to the day, right?
Like, I'm trying to think. That would have been June, maybe 29th, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, a little bit later this month. So, I mean, there's one that
just June 29th.
Nice, good memory.
It was a scarring day for me. I had to make a lot of things happen very quickly. Yes.
Yeah. That one was, of course, not speculated for 1 second by anyone, I don't believe. I mean,
not much.
Completely,
yeah.
I think. For me, it was out of the blue.
I think there was some speculation that Subban could get moved, but for that, no. Like, nobody thought that.
Yeah.
So that was wild. But
worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it worked out well, and I think both teams probably liked the end result there. I mean, they both end up getting to a cup final. I think there needs to be a little bit more of this in the NHL. Like, it doesn't need to be crazy, but I think part of what makes the NBA offseason very exciting is you see a lot of movement, right? And a lot of that is player driven because it's just a different league and there's only 12 guys on the team and it's just different. I mean, the way that the dynamic is there. But I think with the NHL, like if you're a guy out there, you'd be crazy not to look at, and I understand not everybody is the same as Matthew Tkachuk, right? But like Tkachuk was a really good player who looked at his situation in Calgary and says, I'm getting out of here. And, he was upfront with the team that he wasn't going to re-sign there. And as a team, you can respond to that one of two ways. And you can just pray that he changes his mind, or you can capitalize on it. And they got a return for it. Now, the return didn't end up being as good as they hoped it would with Jonathan Huberdeau, but they got a return for it. He goes to Florida, and he's won 2 Stanley Cups. He's been to another Cup final. He's won an Olympic gold medal. Like, things have worked out pretty well for Matthew Tkachuk there. Like, Quinn Hughes, I think, is the same thing. Like, if you're a player around the league looking at this right now, there's a couple examples where you look at it and you say, yeah, I mean, it's worked out pretty well for those guys. I want some of that too. And I think that's a good thing for the NHL. Yeah, no, I do too. It's a bad thing for, again, like organizations that are dragging their feet or not figuring it out. And that's the thing too about it seems, I don't know about explosion, but there's definitely been more no movements given out, right? And so again, like with Larkin right now, I mean, he can also pick, if he forces their hand and essentially, veto whatever he doesn't like. So which is not great from the team perspective, because I think that limits your return when that stuff happens too. No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you can actually get teams bidding against each other, you're gonna juice up the return, and if it's just like you just have to like do your bidding for the player, that's gonna limit you. But it's good for the league. Caleb says, only way I'm in on Larkin is if we keep Ryan O'Reilly. Maybe. How do you could have? I don't know how you do that. Larkin, O'Reilly is your 2C, and then like Matthew Wood is your 3C. Yeah, Brady Martin in there somewhere. What would you be giving to the Red Wings? I don't even know. Like, what are the do the Red Wings? Well, it just depends. Like, what do they think they are? Like, you take him out of the equation, and they're just they're still not a playoff team with him. But are they going to be like, oh, give us Forsberg? I don't know. That's the other part where, let's play out that argument, and that this is where Larkin wanted to go for some reason. Well, if this is where he wants to go, and where he'd approve a trade to, like, your return is going to be limited by that, right? Like, now I guess there could be, if you're Larkin, you could have a few landing spots that you'd be okay going to, and you could tell them that, and then those teams get in a bidding war for you. But like, first off, to answer your question, I don't know what the Red Wings want. Do they want somebody immediately that helps them, or are they going to go through another cycle here? It's a mess, man. But also, even in that situation, you still don't have to trade him. Yeah. Like, they don't have to trade him. No, he's under contract. Yeah. I mean, I say player empowerment, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, there is a scenario here where Yzerman walks in the door and says, hey, bud, you're not going anywhere, so you might as well just get comfortable because you're under contract through 2031. So have fun. And given some of the, like, sort of public back and forth, I could actually see that happen. Now, Yzerman will then, he's going to get fired. Probably. Because Chris Ilitch doesn't want everybody to blame him. Right. At some point, Yzerman has to become the fall guy. But, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if that were the case. Well, and frankly, like, that probably needs to happen more often, too, as general managers growing a spine and being like, well, you can request a trade all you want, but you're not going anywhere. So if you want to go out there and dog it and, be public enemy number one around here, go ahead. Yeah. Let's head to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Marshall to the program. Marshall, good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Good. Caller of this show, so it's good to talk to you guys. Joe, you made a comment a little bit ago about it's only a matter of time before some of these NHL players want trades out of their current situation. I'm wondering when and if that's going to be the case for Nashville. Specifically some of our superstars, Philip Forsberg, Roman Josi, because let's be honest, Nashville hasn't been a shining star lately. And so, anyway, I just want to get your thoughts on that. Yeah. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Marshall. You mentioned this earlier this week that, I think it's on the table now. Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Look, deep down, how much does being a Nashville Predator his entire career matter to Roman Josi? I don't know. I think it matters. I think it matters some, but I also think we're probably getting to a stage where, what matters probably a little bit more is winning, right? Like, I think he wants to win. And look, I'm very interested to see what happens with him. Like it's a new general manager coming in. If the vision that Chris McFarland lays out this offseason, I would assume he and Yossi are going to have several conversations. Like if that vision doesn't line up, I mean, it's not crazy to think Yossi may look at him and say, hey, like, I love it here, but you got to get me out. Like, it's time. I want to go win somewhere. Same thing with Stamkos. Like, Forsberg's more interesting because he's, what is he, 31, like 32? So there's more time for Forsberg. He's 31. He'll be 32 in August. But it's kind of the same thing of what does the vision look like and how do those guys respond to it? Like, I'm not taking anything off the table when it comes to kind of this new regime coming in here.
Yeah, no, I think this whole what kind of crazy trades could we see? Yeah, you have to include any team where they have aging stars and they're not competitive right now.
Yeah.
I mean, again, competitive. If you want to consider almost getting in the playoffs competitive, go ahead. But I'm saying competitive. Guys,
I think that's what
they
they're
all want to
saying,
win.
too.
Yeah, exactly. So, Stamkos did say there's not going to be a rebuild. So, I look forward to. The revisiting of that.
I'm sure someone told him that. I'm sure Trotz probably told him that. Now he's not the general manager
And
anymore.
it's like, so Barry, you're really Chris's boss, though, right? You're telling him what to do, right?
What does advisor mean? Yeah.
Advise him.
Yeah. I mean,
we're going
unless it was like Haslam that came out and said it. But again, that's before you hire a general manager. So I just think the math changes a lot when you bring in a new GM.
If that were the case, we talked earlier about Preds fans to be excited about Bill Haslam. I'd be a little less excited. That'd be disappointing.
615-737-1025, our phone number. Rexrode wondering if our friends on Vol Twitter are maybe a little too obsessed with Vanderbilt. We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Joe, a question you're going to throw out there that I'm sure will get people on the Vol Twitter side of things riled up a little bit. Are they too obsessed with Vanderbilt? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Where does this obsession come from?
Well, Gentry Estes had a good column in Tennessee, and he caught up with Tyler Tanner. Okay. So, and by the way, there it is. God. I don't know. Okay. This is really good radio. I know. I'm like, huh? I'm reading through this column, and I feel like Gentry somehow got away with avoiding the utterly moronic Gannett thing of, instead of saying Tyler Tanner said Tuesday, Tyler Tanner said on May 29th. Just absolutely. It deserves another rant. Every time I read stuff in any of the Gannett papers and I all of a sudden it's like said on June 2nd. I'm like, what? Just say the day of the week, dude. What are we doing here? Who's running this company? Anyway.
Any other former employers you'd like to take a shot at? While we're here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I generally am very respectful of my longtime former employer.
Sure.
We got no ill will.
Not above criticism, though.
But that's just a terrible
constructive
policy.
criticism.
So I don't know. I feel like Gentry kind of wrote this and didn't even talk about what exactly when he talked to him. You know what? I don't blame him. Good for you. I would do the same thing.
Yep.
From now on, don't tell anybody when anything happened. Just say it happened. But point is, in this column, they talked about Tanner's decision to not go to the NBA and everything. In the 11th hour, he had workouts with the Hornets and Grizzlies. He really wanted to go, which shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, that's the ultimate dream, right? To get to the NBA if you're a basketball player. Ends up coming back, but they got to the point in this which really piqued my interest, which was the Tennessee thing. And for people who don't remember, this was not and I don't remember if there was a media account or person who got into this, but things rumors start, they circulate a little bit. This was everywhere. Everywhere. You could not get away from it to the point where, and at least if not media, there were some accounts in Vol Twitter, in the universe of Vol Twitter that generally sometimes get information, are kind of somewhat reliable.
Were they doing the whole
real people,
John Gruden's and the Calhouns out here thing?
Yeah. That's the thing. Even that's a great
and Peyton Manning are eating together.
But that's a great example. Those are things that would catch fire, and it just takes one person to do it. And everybody's hoping, but this was and people strongly, and that's my thing with this, strongly, almost guaranteeing that at least it's there's a serious flirtation going on, right? And then of course, it turns out I'll read the quote from Tanner. Quote. I don't check social media a lot, people who are messaging me, but so many Tennessee fans were either thinking I was going there for whatever reason or just trying to tell me to go there. People, even if the portal had closed, were like, nah, he's coming to Tennessee. I'm like, I'm not coming to Tennessee. I don't know where y'all got this information. It was wild, end quote. And I'm like, and I thought about it, I'm like, this is, was this just a concerted troll job by Tennessee fans to try to freak out Vanderbilt fans?
Maybe.
How many Tennessee fans, we have Vol Twitterers listening.
Sure.
How many of you actually believed that this was a thing? Did this get you excited, or did you just kind of revel in just saying it to Vanderbilt fans? Because that to me that's great rivalry behavior, but it's also, I think, maybe somewhat obsessive rivalry behavior. And of course, typically in this rivalry, the upper hand has been clearly in Knoxville. I'm just throwing it out. I'm just throwing it out there.
Worth asking. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I mean, I do think there were certainly some Tennessee fans that talked themselves into it would make a whole lot of sense for Tanner to come there. I mean, obviously they could have used him. There's no doubt. Did it ever get to the point? I mean, I can only speak for me. It never got to a point for me where I thought it was ever going to happen. That doesn't mean that there weren't several members of Vol Twitter who didn't think it was going to happen. I think that I think this is beyond just trolling Vanderbilt fans. I think there are some members of Vol Twitter who allow themselves to just get totally sucked into this type of stuff. Oh, it's happening. This is going to happen. Like it's the same thing with Sam Levitt. Like Sam Levitt's being, Sam Levitt's quarterback. Hey, look at the schedule. He's quarterback. It's like, well, you got to get him signed first.
And that would be
that
different.
one actually had some teeth to it because he was actually,
Yeah,
meeting with the team.
Yeah, sure. Like that one was at least like they were really pursuing him. Like as far as I know, like I don't like Rick Barnes didn't even reach out. Like there was nothing to it.
I mean, Keith is accusing you of starting the rumor.
Well,
on the text line.
There's a texter that says it was 100% trolling. Yeah, Keith. Yeah, I swore I was not. Dennis says, I knew Vols fans were obsessed with Vanderbilt last season when they knew the exact age of Diego Pavia, but were unaware of the age of their own QB.
Yeah. It was an interesting battle.
They are not, I will say, like, Tennessee fans absolutely are obsessed with hating Pavia. They are not alone, though.
No, they're not.
They are not alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Indiana fans hate Pavia more than Tennessee fans do. So, this texter who said it was 100% trolling says, watching Vandy fans squirm about it was too funny. Tanner wasn't going anywhere. So that's what I'm getting at. Like, how much of this was just like that? Like, let's just screw with these people, Let's just mess with them. We know he's not coming here. I took it as, again, like excitement based on something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just I like it when it comes down to it. I like we need more of this, more back and forth, messing with each other, despising each other.
Yeah,
it's good. I mean, we've got we Tennessee owes Vanderbilt for what they did in Knoxville in football, the basketball this year. I mean, again, I think they could both be top 10 level teams. So the women's basketball, that might get ugly this year. That might get ugly this year. And baseball,
who knows?
They're Vanderbilt. The people who know way more than I do about these, I think Vanderbilt is going to be unbelievable next year. So we'll see.
I feel like that's the case every year, though. It's been a lot of discussion about that recently.
Yeah,
it hasn't played out that way.
No, I mean they were the number 1 seed last year. They were bad this year, but it's been explained to me why. So we'll see.
Look, I'm all for it. I need rivalries, especially in that sport. Like if I'm going to care about college baseball, I need Tennessee and Vanderbilt to both be good.
Yeah, so you're not excited about the West Virginia Super today?
No, I could not even tell you who's playing.
They can't even. They can't. They've sold it out so much. They're letting fans go up on this hill, and they're like going to deliver free pepperoni rolls to them.
Well, good for them.
See?
I hope they enjoy that.
Get excited.
But you will not find me watching. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. The Rob Rant coming up next. TD with us at 8 o'clock. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Don't make me angry.
Sometimes you have to tell someone to pound sand.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
This is the Rob Rant. Now on Robby and Rexrode.
The NBA Finals will suck. I'm sorry. And I hope PK comes in today and tells us how the Knicks are they're gonna get absolutely mopped.
Tell me about how badly the Knicks are going to lose so that I could feel great about them.
I did test the bounds of gout.
He will purposely induce gout.
I'm going to order shrimp and grits and other stuff that has crab meat.
102.5 The Game. You come for sports takes, you stay for gout updates.
Then we get the oysters.
You can't stay away from shellfish, meat, and meat.
You know that's like probably the most dangerous of all the shellfish for gout. Either team, but the Thunder's going to win. I mean, the Thunder's going to win the series. I mean, so I am saying that, presuming Thunder. But I think if it's Spurs, I might give the Knicks a game.
As my NBA advisor, I'm looking for a replacement. I don't do predictions. I don't lower myself. I thought that you knew what you were talking about in the NBA.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Get off the phone. It is time for the Rob Rant, brought to you by Rapid Response Generators, power when it matters most, and served by the Wine Cellar in Hendersonville. As we do every day, we just enjoy. Sometimes I wish we just let Ian do, about a 15-minute mashup.
Why can't we just do the whole show of previously funny stuff that we said?
I'm sure Ian would love putting all that together. There's nothing he'd rather do.
I mean, there's some commercial breaks still.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go for it. I mean, Karski alone.
I just can't wait until we get into the football season and Alontae Taylor gets beat for a touchdown for the first time. And then we just revive the sour latte.
Yeah, they call you Touchdown Taylor, right? Huh?
You can't cover anyone out there, huh? Why is that? So that'll be fun. So my rant today is this. Joe, I feel like we're living in an era, and I don't know what the root cause of this is. Maybe it's because all these different teams and all these different networks and TV people and all, they've hired these statisticians, right? So they got all these statisticians running around. They're coming up with just the most obscure stats of all time. Like they threw one up there in the Stanley Cup final last night that, look, I have watched, if I had to guess in my lifetime, thousands upon thousands of hockey games. Like it's what I do. It's what I've grown up doing as a sports fan. And then professionally, I started working in hockey at 18. It's my background. It's all I know. Okay. And they threw up a stat last night about Mitch Marner that I had to sit there and legitimately, I was like, okay, so what are they trying to say here? What's going on? So Mitch Marner, I guess on his first assist of the game last night, he became tied for second for the most road points in a playoff to begin a tenure with a team. And I was like, okay, so let me think about all the different boxes we're trying to check here. So tied for second for most points on the road to begin a playoffs for a team he's not played for before. Okay, we got all that. I was like, whew. If I have to spend more time thinking about what the stat you're reading off actually means than it takes for you to tell me the stat, we need to eliminate the stat, okay? That's what it is. And there's too much of this going on in sports. Like we find these most arbitrary, random things to attach together to each other to justify somebody's job as a statistician or to try to come up with some just random clever thing that nobody else has. So we're just going to make up random stats. Like, I don't need to know all this stuff. Like as a general sports fan, there are some stats out there that you can find that are easily accessible that are very interesting. And every now and then I'll run across a stat. Like, I'm into analytics to some degree. Like I like, in hockey, looking at goals saved above expected. And all those things. There's analytics in football that are interesting. Like there's a lot in every sport. You can find some interesting stats. Like we're at a place in that as a sports viewing society where I think that has generally been accepted. But if you have to sit there on the couch as somebody who's watched thousands upon thousands of hockey games in his life and try to figure out what the heck you're talking about when it comes to this stat you're throwing out there, maybe let that one go. Can we stop with the obscure stats that nobody understands, please?
Yeah, that smacks of like a statistician just trying to justify their
It's like,
existence.
what are we talking about?
Okay,
here?
so second most road points in a playoff series,
in a playoff in general,
in a playoff
run
for a player who's in his first year with a new team. That's just that's like
and some of the other people that like were on the list, it was like Ovechkin. So it was like, wait, well, that was his first team. And it was like Gretzky. Okay, well, that was his first team. So we're also bending time and space to fit Marner into this same category when he's not even with his first team. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's I saw that stat and I immediately put it in the grid. I was like, give me my laptop. I'm pulling this up. We're ranting about this tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like, on Tuesday, bats, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's stats that really, what do they actually mean? I just Googled random stats from this year. So there's a stat about Brandon Lowe. Opening day, he had hit 0 home runs in 7 years in 26 plate appearances, and then he hit 2 with the Pirates on opening day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I
mean, that's cool that he hit the 2 home runs with the Pirates on opening day, but like, okay.
I feel like baseball is probably the worst offender in this because
they go way deep.
There's a lot of numbers in there, but
and a lot of baseball fans are really into numbers, but still, you want relevance.
Yeah,
like relevance still matters.
Yeah,
like goal saved above expected, or an EPA in football, things like that.
Yeah,
that's helpful. That helps give you context when just regular stats don't give you enough.
Like, I don't really care.
This is just a reach for
Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner has the second most points on the road in a playoff run for a team that he's making his debut for ever. It's like, great. Awesome. So Mitch Marner's playing well, huh? That's good.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Yeah. So how about just Mitch Marner has scored this many points on the road in the playoffs? It's good. Yeah. And it's good. Yeah, exactly. They're winning.
I saw that stat. My jaw was on the floor. I was like, huh? What are they talking about? This is stupid. So I had to rant about this.
That's a good rant. Meanwhile, Vingen is in our chat again. Vingen at Adam Vingen 341. What does that mean? But like,
that's his username.
But why?
I don't know.
I didn't pick my new username.
I think YouTube just does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me my year of birth, which is weird. I don't know what 341 would be for Adam Vingen, but he says tread lightly, Robbie, in all caps in the YouTube chat.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, just
Vingen's a stats guy. Okay, Vingen,
just don't come up with stupid ones.
Exactly. Okay, so did you find that useful? Was that a worthwhile statistic? Was that a worthwhile use of a statistician?
I have no problem with stats.
I'll hang up
just
and listen,
come up
Vingen.
with non-dumb ones. That's all I'm asking. Just don't waste our time with stuff like that.
Yeah, like you said, when you have that many things to it, where it's like you actually have to go through it in your brain and try to figure out what it means, that you just don't.
I spent the next shift watching the game. I was like, what's he talking about? Huh? What does that even mean? I missed what happened on the next shift. It's like, huh? This stat is
so the stat is just like totally so twisted my brain like a pretzel.
What just happened out there? 615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025.
Hey, real quick, David in Arkansas says maybe there should be an hour dedicated to the best of Robby and Rexrode. I'd definitely be here for it.
Okay.
How's that sound to you, Ian? Does that sound fun?
Well, best ofs are usually
holiday
stuff.
Yeah.
When we're not here, we'll put together a best of, but it's not usually rants and drops. It's actual content.
I think people are voting for the next time we do that to just have a mashup of Ian's open.
I can just
have your mashup.
I can just splice together every rant open from the past year. See how that goes.
I think that'd be great.
I think that would be. I mean, you basically captured most of the ridiculous stuff we say in those things. So other than those things, it's very intelligent talk.
Well, we just keep hammering them with new content in there too.
That's true. That is true.
Like a smorgasbord of stupid stuff.
There's stuff that I still am looking for. I'm like, where, usually I'll re-listen to the show, make a note, like when it was, and go back and find it. But recently I've been slacking on the notes. I'll go back, oh, that was funny. And then I'm like, when did they say that? I should have wrote that down. I should have written that down.
Like what? Maybe I'll remember.
Joe, can't remember what we did last segment.
I was looking for the Amazing Beatles song.
Oh yeah,
Norwegian Wood.
Oh, that is a great song.
Yeah,
that's great.
I feel like that could fit in there.
That could work somewhere. Yeah, I could see how that could work.
Yep. Turron Davenport with us coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game.
ESPN's Turron Davenport, talking Titans. Now on Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is that time of the week. We head to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in our friend Turron Davenport to the program, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. TD, good morning. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us. So, TD, last weekend, Carnell Tate goes out there. Titans video team catches him, making this one-handed catch. It's really good stuff. Obviously, you saw him do that in college a lot, of just the catch radius and the ability to just go up there and pluck the football. Based on people that you've talked to, things that you've seen to this point, how excited, if you're a Titans fan, should you allow yourself to be about Carnell Tate in practices in late May, early June?
Yeah, get excited, but you want to temper it. And there's still things that he has to get better on, and they're working on those things. The timing, they want to make sure that that's there with Cam Ward. But the early indication, he's everything that they thought he would be.
So I want to ask on the flip side, because again, this time it's the trenches are so it's just hard to even talk about these guys at this point. But what are you seeing, TD? But obviously, downfield you can get some impressions. What are you seeing in terms of the secondary right now? Anything that really catches your eye?
Nothing really. The main thing right now you look for is the communication, because that's something that they have said is a way to be fast and violent. So you want to see that. But I haven't really seen anything from the secondary per se. Carnell Tate he beat Josh Williams a few times, so you do see that. But I haven't seen anything special or anything like that.
Yeah, I think there's so much this time of year. People get football starved, where you just start looking at stuff and you're like, please, for the love of God, work out for the Tennessee Titans. Just how bad it's been over the last few years here. I am interested in this. And we talked about this after he got hired. It feels like Cam Ward to me, and TD, you've been around it much more than I have. There's a willingness to have difficult conversations on his front. He doesn't shy away from conflict, doesn't shy away from some of that. And I feel like that's exactly kind of what Brian Daboll is as well. And those two working together, I wonder what that looks like when you get into the regular season, in terms of, I feel like that could be a very productive pairing together, because I feel like the personalities that they have are fairly similar, even though you're talking about coach and quarterback, and it's two completely different things.
Yeah, actually, that's something that I wrote about, their relationship and how that's starting. And there have been a couple incidents where it's like, okay, this could be something pretty cool to watch. And I think, when you look at just the way Daboll conducts himself, he's a very fiery, emotional guy. And then you got Cam Ward on the flip side, is just kind of like Eli Manning, like always just the same for the most part. So seeing those two kind of bounce stuff off each other has been pretty cool. I think it's going to be a relationship that, is really the key to this team's success, right? And it goes back to just the ability for Daboll to see the game through Ward's eyes, and Ward to understand, why the plays are being called. And when they have that next level understanding, that's when you're able to really see a bond come together, and really see, plays being called to set up what Ward wants to do and what that franchise needs him to do.
I know he was just a rookie then, but how different does it look as you're watching that work take place on the practice field compared to a year ago with Cam and those guys that he was working with a year ago?
Well, I think the best example to me was that a couple weeks ago was when Tate caught a slant, and the way Daboll explained everything was going to happen, and it happened. I think that was pretty cool, because as he was called to play, he told him, all right, boom, boom, and this is you just got to do that. And it was just cool seeing that play out. And so I think that's an example of don't want to always say something different because we didn't really get to hear Brian Callahan or Hardigree or Holtz call the play to Ward, but I think that's something that Dabo is clearly, a more experienced play caller than all of them. So I think that's an advantage that they have this year.
TD, from a general NFL fan standpoint, when you saw Myles Garrett getting traded from the Browns to the Rams, what was your reaction, and what do you make of what the Rams now have with him in the fold?
Yeah, they got it's like Voltron, man. They came together and they formed something special. What I made of the trade was I thought it was just a classic example of a trade I think that could help both teams. And rarely when you see a huge, big time, best at his position player get traded, rarely do you say that. So I think that's the unique thing to me, is that I think this is good for both teams.
And man, like this Aaron Donald stuff's not ending. Like he keeps talking about it. It's like, my goodness, this could be wild. I totally did the button wrong. I muted myself before clearing my throat. Then I unmuted myself to clear my throat. Okay.
You're getting choked up, man.
It's an emotional time.
Win a championship.
I just started thinking about the Detroit Tigers, and I lost my mind.
Man. Oof.
The Mets have a better record than, by the way.
Both are bad.
Yes. Okay, well, you're as someone who covered the Eagles for a long time, they make what turns out to be the undercard trade this week, but still a pretty big one. Who is going to end up looking better or benefiting more from this divorce? AJ Brown or Jalen Hurts?
That's a good question. Man, I'm gonna say, that's tough. AJ or Jalen Hurts? AJ. I'm gonna go with Hurts, and here's why. AJ Brown, just in listening to the radio out and talking to some of the people, like AJ Brown has already become the reason why, unemployment has spiked in the city, and
Right.
homelessness is up. Like he's the reason for everything now. So I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts, just because he has a big now there's an explanation for everything that went wrong, and everything is pointed towards AJ Brown. So I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts, because whatever he does is going to be, excused. Oh, well, he's distracted still by the trade. You know what I mean? I think he has a cushion now.
TD, on the Titans front, you can pick one player, and this could be anybody on the team, that makes the biggest improvement from last year to this year. Who do you think that ends up being for the Titans?
One player from last year to this year, biggest improvement. I'm going to go with the low-hanging fruit, man, and I'm going to just pick Cam Ward.
Okay. I mean, that would be best-case scenario.
I think a comfortable Cam Ward with an experienced play caller and with the improvements that have been made roster-wise, weapon-wise. I'll go with him. Gunnar Helm, I think, is another one that I will point to. I think Gunnar Helm's going to have a pretty productive year, and especially, being tight end one this year, as opposed to a guy in packages and stuff. So, let's go Cam, and closely followed by Gunnar Helm.
Did you at any point consider Femi Oladejo, and what's the temperature check on him right now?
Yeah, to me, I don't think it's fair to pick him, because like anything he does would be better than last year.
True. That is true.
But I think that the temperatures, they're very high on him. He's one of the early guys in the rotation, and he's been mentioned unsolicited multiple times. When Robert Saleh talked about rushing from that wide angle and getting those guys to go after the passer from the outside. So I would imagine he's going to have some improvement. And I think, just another year on task is going to help him, obviously, because he's a guy that is still new to that position.
Well, TD, great stuff as always, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us this morning. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, my man. And we will talk to you next week.
All right, for sure, man. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Absolutely. Turron Davenport with us on the program, joins us every Friday morning at 8 o'clock, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. We'll react to what TD had to say coming up next. Get back into one of our questions of the day. Are we doing that? We're doing questions of the day?
Yeah.
We're going to adopt it now?
How excited are you that Florida-Georgia line got back together last night, apparently, at CMA?
Be some big news on the Vrayrob front
Jill
there.
Jelnick got some video of it. That was I was like,
Wow,
how could they possibly ever break up?
Sucks, and then I suck.
Good memories in this town.
I can't believe that I just went mute. There you go. There you go, Ian. I'm trying to give you some more stuff.
I think he's probably already been clipped at that point.
I found the Norwegian Wood clip too.
Goody.
Just a heads up.
When the Beatles, made the Rubber Soul album, a great album, and wrote the song. You don't know anything about the Rubber Soul album, and wrote the song Norwegian Wood. They had no idea of the fun that the Robby and Rexrode program would have half a century later.
It's true. It's probably the banter that we have about the Beatles in the show that keeps them alive. Keeps their music going.
McCartney's still rocking out there, man.
That's what I hear. Do we feel like the Titans and Preds have legitimately good people running their teams?
That's
now?
a good question of the day.
Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby and Rexrode brought to you by Green Ventures Landscaping. Get thicker grass, better color, fewer bare spots with turf application. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. We are taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines at 615-737-1025. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. Appreciate TD for being with us in the last segment. Throwing it out there, do we feel confident that both the Titans and the Predators have legitimately good people at their jobs running their organizations right now? Now, when's the last time you felt really good about the direction that both franchises were heading at the same time? It's been a minute. I mean, when's the last time you felt good about the direction
About
the Titans
both
were heading at any
well,
time?
yeah, the Titans. Yeah, well, you felt good, and then they trade A.J. Brown, and then you felt bad. That's me.
That's probably it.
I was like, things are, yes, John Robinson cried at the combine. We all gathered around him, and he wept, and they blew it because he knew they blew it, and boy, he didn't realize at that point just how much they blew it and how much things were going to change. But even at that point, you're like, hey, okay, they may not be the number one seed this next year, but they're a good team. They're going to win their division again.
Yeah,
heck yeah, they are. Like, they're a really good team still. So you felt good. And then they trade A.J. Brown, and you felt bad. The Preds felt good about the direction. Probably like,
I know the answer.
Well, I would say I still felt good about the direction when after the Dallas loss in 19, they pulled off, Poyle pulled off the Duchesne thing, and I still was like, okay. I think he's nimble, and it's PK had a great run. It was a brief one, but now it's okay. The Duchesne thing is happening, so let's see how it works. And then I'd say as of like that next year, you started to feel, okay, this is just not, it's not going to get better.
Yeah, I think with that core for sure, like I do want to go back to the summer of 24 because when they signed all those guys, I mean, people were talking about
that is true,
competing for a championship, right? Like that's what people were talking about. And in retrospect, that looks hilarious because, it failed so spectacularly that next year. And then, this year they don't make the playoffs. So, people are having the conversation this week about like, Preds fans are tired of just making the playoffs. Like, well, they haven't even done that 3 out of the last 4 years. So like it's in a different spot than it was. But that was probably the last time that Predators fans collectively, if you polled most of them, were like, yep, Stamkos, Marchessault, Shea, they just made the playoffs. Like you could talk yourself into it. And then they're all a bunch of old pawpaws since then.
Yeah. As much as people want to rip Trotz for that, and we have, and we also, I was all in on that sucker. I was ready to.
It was exciting.
Clear out the parade route on Nolensville Pike in Nolensville.
That's right.
So I would say then when you talk about both together, realistically, you're talking like right around COVID, like basically right around the time this program started, right?
Yeah.
Both at the same time.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would probably be the last time.
That's sad.
So, you're talking, that's over half a decade ago.
That's a while.
So that's a while ago. And again, there's nothing guaranteed with either team right now. The Predators, I think you could make the argument right now are where they've been for a lot of their history, which is in the middle, which is the mushy middle, as they say. McFarland said it the other day. Like there's a danger to that, and you don't necessarily want to be there. The Titans, I feel good about Borgonzi. I like a lot of what he's done. When I hear him, sit down and explain kind of what he's looking for and the plans, and I like it. I like a lot about Borgonzi. The fact is, right now he's a 3-14 general manager, so I don't hold that too much against him. Like the roster was what it was, and the situation that he inherited was bad. So I get all that, and frankly, I think the coach that was coming in at that time was also bad. So like, there's a lot that I don't hold against him, but you need to start to see some of it this year, particularly with the quarterback, but with the roster as a whole. Like they've got to start to improve meaningfully. Like there needs to be meaningful improvement this year. So there's no guarantee that either one of them are going to work out. I do feel like for the first time in a while, both Predators fans and Titans fans feel confident in the people running their organizations. What does that mean at the end of the day? Probably not a whole lot, but I think fans feel that way.
Yeah. Now, and we're saying that, and yet, just like with Saros, We first guessed that one. Don't give him that deal.
Yeah.
We did first guess Cam Ward. I mean, I don't think they should have done, and I haven't changed from that. So that's still going to be the thing that dictates it. I think that Cam Ward has a chance.
I'm willing to say that too. He's got a chance. I don't know that I still love what that chance is going to equate to. We'll see. There are some things about his rookie season that I'm encouraged by. There are some things about his rookie season that worry me, with him moving forward, particularly the accuracy. Like that worries me. But I'm with you. And then there's just the simple fact that, as you've pointed out many times on this show, I mean, just what are the odds of the quarterback working out? They're not high. Like if you look at the history of the league, they're just not high. Most of the guys that are taken in those spots do not work out to the degree in which you hope that they will work out. As this microphone falls continually.
Is that thing does it react like when you have a take it really doesn't like it?
Let's get this thing away from him.
That
microphone. Some listeners out there to be like, yeah, they should have done that a long time ago. Just remove the microphone.
The microphone must really like Cam Ward a lot.
Must.
Yeah. But that's another thing is, okay, so let's say does Cam Ward have a chance to be a good quarterback? Like, does Cam Ward have a chance to be a superstar in this league? I mean, right now I would not put a lot of money on him being a superstar, being like one of the top handful of quarterbacks in the league at any point in his career. Does he have a chance to be a good enough quarterback that if you build a good football team around him and you're solid in most areas and you got some spectacular playmakers and all that you could win football games and be a playoff team? Yeah.
Well, I go back to a question that when you asked it at the time, I think made a lot of people mad, but has turned into a very a prophetic question from Joe Rexrode, which is now several years old at this point, which is, when is the next time the Tennessee Titans are going to get quarterback play that they got under Ryan Tannehill?
See,
you asked that at the time, and people are like, well, pretty quickly, because Will Levis is already better. And it's like, well, not quite. Didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
You're hoping pretty quickly that Cam Ward can get to that, but we're still a ways away from that right now.
Let me review this again. 65.5% completion, 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks, 7.9 an attempt, 106.5 rating. The year before, he was 9.6 an attempt at an 117.5 rating.
It's absurd.
Like, those are insane numbers. And yes, I mean, there's going to be trolls who now respond to this. Derrick Henry. Oh, okay. I know that was a big part of it. Ryan Tannehill also dropped back on 3rd and 8 plenty of times when Derrick Henry was standing on the sideline and made plays that he had to make.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a prophetic question that you've asked. That,
and let me tell you something.
Still a ways away from identifying.
And if Cam Ward gets to that level of the way that Tannehill played, and again, remember, Tannehill prior to that, I mean, he had 2 4,000-yard seasons in Miami prior to that. So,
which the Tennessee Titans have never had.
Exactly. Right. So, but if he can get to that level, then you got something. You got something seriously promising here. So, but again, in the meantime, Borgonzi, to your question about the whole thing is these two organizations, is Borgonzi building a team around this guy? We know that this guy's going to dictate so much of where things go, but is he building a team around him? Is Winston going to work out? Is Oladejo at least going to be solid? Like he's had 2 drafts. Is DK going to keep coming and be more than like a return guy? Is Tate going to end up making us look back and say, oh, yeah, he absolutely should have been a top 5 pick?
Yep.
We keep getting affirmative answers on these things, and pretty soon there will be
a good football team.
Serious confidence, and wins.
Yeah, we're talking about a good football team at that point. Let's head back to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Mark to the program. Mark, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, good morning. Hey, what's up, Joe?
What's up, Mark?
I'm listening to you, man. Robbie, how you doing this morning, Robbie?
Good, brother.
Hey, I hear y'all talking about Cam Ward. Joe, Cam Ward's going to make Nashville forget about Tannehill. I don't know why you keep bringing Tannehill up, man. You can throw all the numbers you want out there.
Robbie brought him up.
Robbie.
That's true, I did.
All I remember, he called going to a Super Bowl. He choked in big moments. That's what I look at. Was he a good quarterback? Yes, was he top 10? No. I think Cam would be top 10, though. I really do. But, Joe, it's going to take a couple more drafts and some other guys coming in for them to be a finished product and get to that level that they really want to get to. They're going to need another wide receiver next year. Ridley's not that guy anymore. They're going to need somebody to go over on the other side with Tate. He's going to have weapons, Joe, like Joe Montana had with the Niners. He's going to have some weapons, Joe, to be good. So people just got to give him time. I said this year, 63, 64, maybe 65% of his passes, maybe close to 28, 30 touchdowns, 3,700 yards, something like that, maybe 8, 9 picks, maybe less than that. He's got the perfect guy to help him out this year with Brian Davis. Davis a good offensive guy. He's developed some good quarterbacks. Wasn't just Josh Allen. Guys that have played in his system have been pretty good. Even Daniel Jones was good for a minute with Brian Davis. So, and no telling what he would have done with the quarterback up at the Giants had he still been there. So, yeah, I think Cam's going to be top 10, top type guy here in a couple of years, but he's going to have some more talent around him and stuff. But, Robbie, I got a question for you and Joe before I go.
Okay.
Robbie, I hear you talking about a lot of hockey. What's your favorite sport, Robbie? Is it hockey or is it the Packers and football? What's your most watched sports?
I mean, that really depends on the time of the year. I mean, it bounces back and forth between hockey, college football. Those are my main two. NFL is right there behind it, but those are my main two: college football and hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, hey, Joe, I heard you the other day say something about Michael Jordan. Joe, you need to give that man respect. I mean,
I give him respect.
Yeah, I know, Joe. He can't do it by himself, Joe. Just like you can't do that show by yourself. You got to have Robbie Stanley, and Robbie Stanley got to have Joe Rexrode. No, I think both of y'all go hand in hand, Robbie. Y'all make a good team. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like this truck can't go up the road unless I drive it. But hey, Joe, you need to change your direction with Michael Jordan. And I still ain't forgot about Joe Montana. I'm waiting on you, Joe, when you bring all that up again.
You got a lot of
grievances. I want to talk to you about it. I do, Joe.
Right.
I do.
Thank you, Mark. I
appreciate
it.
All right, y'all have a good. Yeah, y'all have a good weekend, man. See you later, Joe. Robbie.
You too.
I think you could do the show by yourself.
I have a lot of responses to a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm confident Joe could do the show by himself.
I mean, can you imagine? Like, first of all, it's hard enough for me to do the microphone one, which is, for people who don't know, that's like leading the show. But imagine if it was like just me talking. So hold on. Oh, wait.
Good show. He's going to fry the circuit board over there, too. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Weekend winners coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
It's time to pick some winners. We hope. Robby and Rexrode have weekend winners for you. Now
on ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for weekend winners here on the program. A standings update in the competition, which is drawing nearer and nearer to a close. I mean, I don't think this is going to be the last one. It's not going to be the last one.
This is the penultimate.
But this will be the second to last.
This is the penultimate.
Yes. The standings in the competition. Ian Safar, again, just another solid week. 4-2 with his lock. We both went 3-3 with our locks, which brings the overall standings. Ian, 45-45, 12-3 on his locks. Whew, 57 points. Rexrode and I are both 41-49, 8-7 on locks, 49 points. 8 back of Ian. It's going to take a dramatic comeback and a dramatic, frankly, collapse from Ian Safar in there.
Yep.
That's where we are on the
That's it.
standings front. We begin. Game number 2 between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs tonight. San Antonio, a 6.5-point favorite, trailing 1-0 in the series at home. Ian, I probably don't even need to ask, but I'm going to ask anyway. Where are we going tonight in game 2 between the Knicks and the Spurs?
Yeah, I have to take the Knicks to cover. I'm not sure they're going to win. If I had to pick, I think they're actually going to lose, but I think it's going to be close. 6.5.
Stick your chest out and pick a win.
I really want to, but the Wemby rebound factor in this game, I think, is going to be something. Maybe the Spurs play more Dylan Harper than they did Fox in game 1. Hearing kind of that, as much as I want to pick the Knicks, I'm to win. I'm not going to, but they are going to cover the 6.5.
Going Knicks plus the 6.5 coming up in game 2. Joe Rexrode, Spurs.
Almost my lock, but I'll just go Spurs.
Okay, going Spurs. Give me the Knicks. I'll go the Knicks to cover. I'll go the Knicks to win. They take a 2-0 series lead. 2-0 tonight, heading back home to the Garden. Looking forward to it.
I kind of want to, but I don't think they're going to sweep. And so if they win this game, then they have to lose one at home, which makes sense. But,
like I said, the Knicks might get a game in this series. They got their game.
Okay.
Save that one.
Yep. Game 3, straight up between Carolina and Vegas. That series evened up at 1. It now shifts to Las Vegas. For games 3 and 4, we'll do game 3. Joe Rexrode, straight up, who you got between the Canes and the Golden Knights?
Canes. Give me the Canes, man. Like you said earlier, they are road warriors. I'm sure we got some great stats on them on the road out there.
I'm sure the stats are great. I will take the Vegas Golden Knights to win in game 3. They'll take a 2-1 series lead. They get it done in overtime in this one. Ian Safar, who we got game 3 between Carolina and Vegas?
I'm also going to take Vegas to take the 2-1 series lead.
Not going to be a whole lot of me catching Ian at this point.
I got a chance to make gains on both of you, or just
totally
to be absolutely in the basement.
Either one of those things could happen. We move to the individual portion of the program. I will get things started on the individual portion. This may be the most random one I've ever done, although I did do a few years ago some Australian rules football.
Yeah.
Give me the Spurs tonight, -2.5 after the first quarter. There's your spread for the first quarter. Spurs are favored by 2.5. I'll go Spurs -2.5 after the first quarter. They start things off with a bang tonight, Rexrode.
Okay.
The Knicks have to battle their way back in that one.
Makes sense.
That's
Ian Safar, your first individual selection.
Okay, I'll get my lock out of the way. A lot of baseball. We're running out of things here. I'm not great at picking the baseball, but my lock this week,
guaranteed.
I guess I'm just going to go with the Dodgers.
It's probably smart.
-1.5 versus the Angels.
Going Dodgers -1.5 against the Angels. Nice battle of L.A. out there, Joe.
Which is always tricky,
Rivalry,
Yeah.
Rivalry in baseball.
Heated.
Really stands out. Joe Rexrode, your first individual selection.
Yeah, I had that one too. Don't put me down for that one. Not for my lock, though.
Wow. No love for the Angels on the program here. None.
Sorry.
Whatsoever.
Mike Trout.
Joe, your second individual selection.
Yeah, I'm doing 4 baseball games all tonight, and I just want to know. I want to know at the end of the night if I even have a chance. So as the ultimate bandwagon fan, the Tigers went and swept the Rays. So now I'm like, Is there a chance? Are we back? Scooble's about to be back. We got Torres back. We got Kerry Carpenter back.
They're
Mariners
weekend.
at Tigers. Tigers are plus 1.5 at home against the very good Mariners. I don't care. Give me the plus 1.5. Yes, I will take that. But give me the Tigers and make it my lock.
Guaranteed.
Just the worst kind of bandwagon fan.
Ian, did you notice the we came back with the Tigers there?
Oh, we're back, baby.
We
We're
won.
back.
We won some games, so we won.
They're back.
They better not lose.
Yes. Ian, your second individual selection.
Okay, I haven't had great luck with the over-unders in the basketball either, but I'm going to go back to it just for fun, and there's not a whole lot of other stuff to pick. I'm going over in this one. 214.5. Give me the over. I think both teams play much better offensively, especially Wemby. I think the Knicks make a few more shots too. I think I'm going to take the over.
Going over 214.5 in this one. Give me the Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 against the Pirates and make it my lock. I'm locking down on Atlanta. It was just off to a blistering start in Major League Baseball this year.
Again.
Ian, your third individual selection.
Okay, I also have the Braves minus 1.5 versus Pittsburgh.
There you go. No love for the Pirates or the Angels on the program here
Go
today.
Pirates.
Good stuff there. Give me Carolina Vegas game 3 over 5.5 goals. We got to. If the line was at 6.5, I'd take the over in that one too. For some reason, I'm feeling an offensive explosion coming in game 3 here, but I'll go over 5.5 between Carolina and Vegas. Joe, your third individual selection.
Well, the video that you've been playing over and over off air, we need to clean it up and play it for the people
They wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Yes,
That's
Just
leave
be
out
a
the whole
bleep
video.
fest.
just put in fat every time. But it inspired me. Red Sox at Yankees. Yankees minus 1.5. Give me the Red Sox.
Yes. Red Sox plus 1.5 against the Yankees.
Aaron Judge hurt.
Yeah.
For the
He'll be out
Yankees,
for a while.
out for a while. So that could be
Could be
a
a
little
factor.
feather in
Could
your
help.
cap there.
Could be a factor there. My final individual selection. Give me the Cincinnati Reds plus 1.5 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Go Reds. Plus 1.5 against the Cardinals. Ian, your final pick.
All right, back to baseball. Padres minus 1.5 hosting the Mets.
No love for the Mets.
No love for the Mets. They've been playing better, but I'm still going to bet against them.
Joe, your final individual selection.
I don't know if I've ever noticed it. Let me try that again. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the show, but the White Sox suck.
Yeah.
White Sox at Phillies. Phillies minus 1.5. Give me the Phillies.
Phillies minus the 1.5 against the White Sox. I remember that time where Joe was so disgusted with the Tigers that I think he picked the White Sox to beat them one time. That was unfortunate.
That is the ultimate betrayal.
It was.
Yes.
They were not we at that time.
No, you over there.
615.
Now we're on a roll. We're rolling.
When's Scooble coming back?
He's throwing a rehab, I think, this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Well, let's take a look at the standings here. What are we talking about?
I mean, 10.5. 10.5 back.
All right.
You know.
There's still some time. That's the beautiful part about baseball. There's always time.
Right. So, everybody thinks they're going to deal everybody, and they might. I mean, they're going to have to really go on a run to avoid that. But I need my summer to be interesting. So, we need an interesting summer.
We will wrap up the show. Coming up next, look ahead to Game 2 of the NBA Finals, Game 3 of the Cup Finals. Coming up next, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Final segment of the day, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Joe, scale of 1 to 10, how stunned will you be if the New York Knicks take a 2-0 series lead tonight?
9.
That's pretty stunned. It's pretty stunned.
Yeah, I'll be stunned.
I've become a believer. I have in the New York Knicks. I mean, they've won 12 in a row. I've become a believer. I thought they were in some serious trouble last time out. What were they on 14 at one point in game 1? They come storming back. They win the game. I'm convinced they're winning the series.
Hey, they've showed me a lot in this postseason. They're much better than I thought. They've gone much farther.
Either one, whatever you want.
It's really like it's further because it's just in a playoff bracket. Farther should just be about actual distance.
That is true. That's what AI says. That's why you're a writer.
Thank you. But I still I don't think they're going to win another game in this series.
It's so much disrespect.
I'm sorry. I respect them. They've done an incredible job. I mean, Ed on the YouTube chat says, what has better odds? Cam Ward works out or Joe's NBA predictions? Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Real quick, by the way, on that, going back to Mark and his call. First of all, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. Okay, maybe. If you're right, then things are going to be looking great around here.
Sure.
That'd be amazing. And you're absolutely right about Tannehill choking. We all agree. He choked, and then things went down. But like you brought up, we're talking about the 2019 and 2020 seasons. That was obviously his peak. That was the peak of his career.
Yep.
When will the Titans have quarterback play that good? It was really, really good. And it wasn't just the numbers that we cited. It was big-time throws in the game at New England in the playoffs with Derrick Henry on the sidelines on 3rd and long to keep the ball. Big-time throws at Baltimore in a game Derrick Henry dominated, but you still had to make the throws for the touchdowns to Jonnu Smith and Khalif Raymond. Just saying.
It's true.
Two things can be true.
What did he throw for in that game? 85 yards?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. I mean, I understand. But do you make –
I just wanted to see what you'd say again.
No, it's fine. I mean, but do you make the clutch throws?
Sure.
He might have had decent stats otherwise in the Bengals game, but he threw the 3 picks and completely changed. That completely changed everything. But unfortunately, it broke their brains a little bit too much because then they trade AJ and they draft Malik Willis, and it's just like, okay, so now it's just a complete give up.
I mean, think about that. If Tannehill throws 2 picks instead of 3. How much different is the trajectory of the Titans franchise?
Like if they win, you're saying?
Yeah. Like if he throws 1 less pick in that game and they end up winning.
Well, then they get the Chiefs at home for the AFC Championship game, a team they beat 27-3 a few weeks earlier in the same stadium. Not saying that they would have won again, but yeah, but you talk about moments that change history.
Yeah.
That changed sports history in Nashville.
It was interesting. We threw out the question the other day on the show, like, is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? And Sando has come out with a piece this morning at The Athletic that kind of goes through all of it. It's a very interesting case because one of the things Sando talks about is like at his peak, he's an elite peak. Like he goes back to some of the quarterback tier things that he does and puts them in there. And then had 2020, 2021, he was in tier 1, like from these general managers and executives and everybody else that votes on this stuff.
Yeah.
And we talked about the numbers the other day. It's a very intriguing case for Russell Wilson.
So I don't remember if it was 20 or 21. We had the show then. And I remember definitely that like about probably 5-6 weeks into the season, it was like, this is the clear MVP leader. He had a couple ridiculous, I think they had like this ridiculous game at Indy, I think. And it was like, he was the clear MVP favorite. It is crazy to think he never got an MVP vote in his entire career.
Yeah.
But, and look, I'll tip the cap to Skipman over there. There's no doubt that's an oldie but a goodie. There is no doubt that he deserves in over Eli after looking at those numbers side by side.
I agree.
Eli 200. I mean, he threw 1 million picks.
He threw a lot of interceptions. He really did. It is kind of amazing to think about. I mean, and again, did you ever think of Eli Manning as one of the top quarterbacks in the game as he was playing? I mean, he was good, but I never looked around and said, yep, when you're going down the list of elite quarterbacks, Eli Manning's pretty high on that list.
No, I didn't. And I said the same thing about Russ the other day, but I think I may have disrespected him a little bit because I would say probably during that right around the turn of turn of the decade, he was considered one of those.
He was.
Top handful.
Briefly,
yeah. It wasn't long, but
you had Peyton Manning that had retired. You had Drew Brees kind of at the end of it. Brady was still doing his thing, but
right.
It was kind of a different. Roethlisberger was phasing
Winding
out.
down.
Yeah, like it was good timing for him on that front as well. But yeah, that part of it is really interesting. I mean, if he would have got everybody in Denver to come to his birthday party, he'd be no doubt Hall of Famer.
That is very true. Yeah. If only
get rid of the office, and if more than 3 teammates show up for your birthday party, you'd be good at that point.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate. I mean, that is, in all seriousness, like all that stuff hurts him. Like it does. I don't know that it's. I mean, I don't know. PK is a voter. We can ask him.
We can.
I mean, he's not supposed to tell us his votes, but like, I think stuff like that does matter. I mean, my guy Lou Whitaker is a Hall of Famer, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. And it still goes back to the 94 strike and saying stuff he said, like, we don't care. We got plenty of money, all this stuff. And he pissed everybody off. All the writers got pissed off, and he got blacklisted. These things happen.
They do.
I expect people to be more professional in that.
We could have the debate as to whether or not they should happen, but yes, they do happen.
Yeah, no. I mean, but everybody's human, at least for now, until we're all AI. Let's let AI pick everything.
I mean, it's probably coming.
I saw a
Claude.
I saw one today that was pretty bad. Of
Norwegian wood.
U.S. men's national team using AI to do a lot of scouting.
Oh, really?
Not going well.
I mean, it can't be worse.
Never going to win anything. In soccer around here.
It can't be worse
That's
than the way
true.
it's gone.
Yeah, that is true.
Just try it. Why not?
God, that's this whole.
I'll just plug in what we are looking for with certain positions, and we'll let AI do all the research for us. But human scouts are still needed so we can determine, speaking tone to other teammates and such.
What are we, a week away from that? Week away from World Cup?
Yep, next week.
Yeah, that'll
what's
be
our
good.
excitement
I'm
level?
excited. I mean, when the game started, I'm with PK. Like this has been a bleep show in a lot of different ways, and FIFA is
the worst.
I mean, FIFA is like basically the cartel. But once the games start, hell yeah. I mean, I love the World Cup. It's the one time when I like just really, really lock in on watching soccer, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, like I saw the Landon Donovan clip the other day of the goal. What was that, 2010 the World Cup? Still awesome. I mean, the call, everything's electric about it. It was awesome.
Yes.
We got Paraguay next week. Friday. Week from today. World Cup action gets underway from Team USA.
From SoFi, where tickets are $9,000, and they'll have, I don't know, will they have AI seat fillers?
11 people there.
Have they been able to construct actual robots to fill some of these seats?
Yeah, we'll see. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Weather looks like it's going to be good. Looking forward to it coming up this weekend. Ian's got an entire ecosystem he's growing out there at his place. It's good stuff.
I know. We need some pictures
of
this glorious garden.
That's right. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll be back Monday morning. Next Man Up coming up next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game.
Tell me about how badly the Knicks are going to lose so that I can feel great about them.